I was at the eBay yard garage sale when I saw a cartridge for the PS666. It said Sonic Unlashed the Werehog. I screamed and cried because Sonic the Werehog is so hot and he made me always want to play the game. I asked the seller and he said, just take it for 666 doll hairs and 666 cents. I bought it and then stole it to home. I hyper-realistically slammed the disc into the TV. I probably broke it, but don't care. I screamed as the console turned on and the title screen showed up. It took 666 years to load, but I thought it was just a glitch. The game screamed as the Sonic Unleashed logo pooped up. It was blood. I hit the start button so hard I broke the controller. Sonic fight Eggman in space. Then Eggman chopped him in lasers. Sonic said, "Fuck you," and Eggman pissed on the plant. Sunky became a hot man. I was screaming. Eggman threw Sonic into the vacuum of space, and it made Eggman head explode and die. Sonic landed on a chip. It was a Lay's potato. There was also a small chihuahua. He died and said, "Sonic, you died me hard. I will hunt you because you a meanie." I thought this was a really cool glitch. Chip isn't supposed to die. I was wondering how this would play out. Sonic EXE came into my room. I said, "Sonic EXE, you're not hot to me anymore." I tried to drink my Sunny D, but EXE spilled it all over my boobs. Then Sonic EXE disintegrated. Sonic ran away from Chip's body. He turned back to his boring, not hot form. I played the first day level. There was no hints from Chip, and there were no rings. I could still bust a nut, but the gauge never ran out. There was no robots. I thought glitch again. I got to the end, but there was no gold ring. Sonic just sat down and grabbed his head and hyper-realistically he said me murdered Potato Chip by incident. The scream faded to black and faded back into the Apato's hub world. The music was Lavender Town. It was a cunt scene. Sonic was walking sadly and staring at the ground. The creamy ice man had purple sperms coming from his head. Cried and looked at me. He said, "Buy my chocolate chip," he screamed before he could finish his sentence. And there was fire. Tyron's scene faded back in, and he was gone. Sonic steps back, looking shocked, and said, "I didn't mean to." He looked at me and said, "Things sure took a weird route." He winked, and I heard a the music stopped and the gameplay started. I walked around trying to find those dumbass medals and they were all gone. Oh, cool. I hate those. No dumb medals to slow down the game. I tried to talk to the stupid NPCs, but they all looked scared and just had a blank text box. I saw that the priest was gone. Good. He's so gay. Just like every other priest. I went to the entrance stage, but there was another cutscene. Sonic looked at me and said, "No, I don't need to go there." I was mad. I wanted to go fast. The sun set and Sonic turned into the Werehog and I said, "Whoa, this is so hot." then Big the cat and Dr. Flood came over and they all begged. Sonic growled and said, "Fuck yeah." "No, dude." He killed them and said, "Yeah, me." Then he went into the entrance stage. I started the Werehog liver. Their music was silent and the enemies all ran at Sonic. I tried to make him punch, but the enemies all died and Unleashed gauge came up. I realized that they were sacrificing themselves to make Sonic more evil. I opened up the level up screen and saw that normal Sonic status screen wasn't there, and Werehog has max stats and everything. I ran through the rest of the level. There was no music or enemies. The whole level was boring. The doors were already open. I got to the last room super fast. There were no enemies. It was just Tails standing like an idiot. Tails said, "Sunk, is that you?" Sonic said, "Yeah, but something wrong." Tails said, "What?" "I know you're a monster." Sonic said, "Yeah, but I kill people now. Help me stop it." Tails said, "Okay, follow me." They got on a tornado and flew into the sky. Tails said, "Yeah, we go into Spagonia. I know a smart pickle Rick there. He'll help you. Also, I don't know if you know, but the world is broke. We gotta fix that." Then the sun rose and Sonic turned to his normal pussy bitch self. I screamed and cried. Tail looked at me and pulled out a Revolutionary War musket and said, "Shut up, you whining cunt. No one loves you." I cried and said, "Okay." They landed in Spagongogonga. Tail said, "This is like Italy. I hope they made lots of spaghetti." Sonic said, "Okay." I got bored and turned off the game. I turned off the PS666 and started to leave the room. I heard a creepy voice. It said, "Welcome to a graveyard of you." I turned around and saw nothing. I thought glitch again. I left the room and watched My Little Pony. I saw Werehog kill the horses and I thought it was a glitch. He said, "Bitch, You pay attention to me or I'll spell Sunny D on your boobs just like Sonic.exe. I cried and said, okay, I'll play the game again. That all just happened. I'm gonna go play it more in a minute, but I wanted to write it down and post in case I died. Update this when I finish the game, die, or just get bored again.